Hey there, and welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal Network. I am your host, Dave Does, and joining me are the co-hosts. We have Andy Edwards, even from Nomadic Rain, and of course Kirk Houghton from Screamer, Blast, Repeat. Andy, how are you today?
Very well, thank you, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Kirk, how are you this evening?
All good.
Okay, well, it's not a Zoom check-in, you little fucker. I mean, oh good, yeah, I'm fine. Let's do the meeting.
No, because you always get criticised for trying to over-elaborate things. We're just like, I'm going to give you a two-word answer. Move on.
I'm all good. Move on. Get on with it. Right. Today's video is more broken down and pulled apart. That is where we take a song, we break it into manageable sections, i.e. things like intros, verses, choruses, etc. We just dissect it as much as we can in that period of time and just talk about the track. Maybe its influences, what's going on with it. And today's video is You Shook Me All Night Long from A.D.K. This is off the Back in Black album. It's the first album, obviously, with Brian Johnson taking over vocals from Bon Scott. It was also the first official single off that album, which I always found was surprising, because I thought Back in Black would have been the first single. Yeah, it's the most obvious one that they would do. And it's quite interesting. They did a very similar video again on stage performance. I don't know if they just shot all their videos for this album in one day and just went, no, we'll just put on a stage and we'll just record all the videos, done, get it out of the way. But yeah, it's the other thing with ACDC I find really odd is that you sometimes get these albums later on and these same songs are on these other albums. You're like, is this a compilation? No, it's a new album, but you've got the same song on it. You can't just go and do that, can you? Because this was on what was it, Who Made Who, the Maximum Overdrive album, wasn't it? Great album, by the way, for the Stephen King film. Anyway, we're going to check this video out. Without further ado, let's get to it. Good enough space or place to stop it after the first chorus. Andy, do you want to take us through your thoughts? And then obviously if we've got any dispute, if there's anything we else picked up or dispute, we'll jump in afterwards. But Andy, thoughts on it?
I just want to start first of all with a little comment. You said about this track could have been from any AC/DC album, you know, in their career, and they sort of rehash the tracks. Yeah. There's a classic. I don't know if it's a joke or a meme or whether it actually happened, but I remember hearing about Angus being sort of put this question saying, AC/DC, how have you sustained your career when you've basically released the same 15 albums? And Angus said, no, that's complete rubbish. That's complete rubbish. We released the same 16 albums or something along those lines. I thought that was quite funny. But you said about, you thought it was strange this was the lead single. I totally agree. It's not the strongest track on the album by a long way. You'd have thought, you know, Hell's Bells or Back in Black would have been the lead singles. I don't know if Hell's Bells was even a single. But this is kind of what you'd expect. You know, looking back on their career, it's the sort of stage performance, and it's a huge stage as well. They're kind of sort of, you know, in that middle section and sort of quite compact. But I don't really know what to say, really. It's sort of classic AC/DC. I'm more of a, you know, if I was to look back, I'm more of a Bon Scott era fan. The sort of first Brian Johnson albums, you know, first 3 or 4 are pretty good, but he had big boots to fill, didn't he? And I think he's done, you know, even from the outset, a really, really good job at sort of filling the shoes of the legend that Bon Scott was. But yeah, moving on.
Kirk, give us some extra insight into this if you like.
I've just been looking. So you're right. This was the first single from Back in Black. Surprisingly, Back in Black was single number 4.
Was that many?
Schedule for this. Yeah, it was Hell's Bells, and then Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, which is a classic. This one, is it me, or does this sound very close to that song All Right Now by Free? A blues rock band from like the early
That's
70s.
true, yeah, good point.
And vocally, is it me? He actually has a bit of Rod Stewart in his voice as well. Brian, I'm just hearing it, but I'm just thinking, is that Rod Stewart?
Okay, I would have actually gone down the route of what you had said, like with Free, with Paul Rodgers.
Okay.
I would have got that kind of vibe, more Paul Rodgers, like Bad Company era Paul Rodgers rather than Free. But yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, what I love about this particular track is that you don't even have a rhythm guitar or bass kick in until the pre-chorus, that bridge to the chorus. So that entire first section is a 4/4 standardized drum beat. I mean, it's like dun, dun, tsh, dun, dun, tsh. It's nothing going on. It's basic, it's stripped back, but it works perfectly. This is the ACD school of drumming. One drum beat for the last 30, 40 years. That's what you need. You just need one drum beat with a few fills, but he does it well. He does variations. There is more than one drum beat, but it's not a huge task. I mean, looking at the drum beat or the drum kit he's got 2 floor toms, 3 rack toms. He doesn't need any of them for this song, really. You don't need it at all. It's all show. But I love the fact that the song, you just get this whole dynamic shift when that pre-chorus or pre-bridge comes in, when it just kicks in, and then they all kick in. You've got vocals coming in from Malcolm, and I can't remember the bass player's name, but
Biff Williams.
Thank you. And they just sound great. It's harmonized. It sounds awesome. It's big. It's classic barroom rock that you expect from AC/DC. And it was huge for Brian Johnson to come in and do it. I mean, I remember when there's a whole interview about him going in and actually doing the tryouts for AC/DC. And he was like, "Oh, is it worth doing it?" etc. like that. And you're like, "Fucking hell, really, mate?" But was in the band. Thinking about things like Back in Black as well. I wonder if Back in Black was shot in the same place, because in the picture that we've got up on our screens, or at the end of where we paused it, which unfortunately the viewers won't see, there are beer cans and stuff on the drum riser. I'm wondering if they shot like Back in Black and stuff at the same day, and they just kind of worked through a few different videos and just captured a load of stuff. Because if you've got a day in a place like this, I would do exactly the same as a videographer. Go, while we're here, let's do a couple more videos in case we want to use them at a future date. Because you'd be doing it on tape as well. So you wouldn't be doing digital. But yeah, let's keep going. We're into the second verse now.
Time on the seduction line. She's one of a kind, so just mine, oh my. Wanna know applause or just another cause? Made a meal out of me and come back for more. Had to cool me down to take another round. Now we're back in the ring to take another swing. That the walls was shaking, the earth was quaking, my mind was aching, and we were making it, and you shook me all night long. Yeah, you shook me all night long, and knocked me out of that. You shook me all night long, and had me shaking, and you shook me all night long. Yeah, you shook me, but you took me. You really took me in, yeah.
I had to do a final pause there just after the solo, and then we'll let it run to the end. But Kirk, thoughts?
I've been listening to the lyrics, and sexual innuendos in 1980 are hilarious. She wanted me to come, but I was already there, I think was one of the lines in the opening verse. I mean, they're so mischievous, which at the time, I suspect might have been lost on people.
Mm.
Musically, this is, we would now call this pub rock, wouldn't we? It's heavy blues rock. And these are the most famous exponents of it. This album is in the top 5 selling albums of all time in the SoundScan era. Apparently, it's 27 times platinum and the 3rd biggest selling album in the United States.
Wow.
Incredible commercial achievement, especially for Brian Johnson to come in and replace a legend like Bon Scott, and this to just go through the roof. You know, this made them superstars. They were already a big arena act before that, weren't they? You know what you're going to get with AC/DC. I think everybody says that, don't they? You know what you're going to get. But it's true. I really enjoyed the solo there as well. And especially in the chorus, it's that you've got like a tag in between the last bit. It goes do 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 do. Best part of the whole song. Most imaginative guitar playing in the song as well. Yeah, I'm still surprised this was the first single. To me, this is just a classic anthemic rock song that's catchy, melodic, and it's got a cool solo in it.
Can I just add a few things, Dave, at this
Sure.
point? Pick up what you said about the lyrics, Kirk. I mean, that is carrying on Bon Scott's mantle, the sort of sexual innuendo sort of style lyrics, and sort of you can interpret it certain ways. I mean, that's a staple of a lot of AC/DC songs, but I'm sure everybody knows that. But I think obviously Brian Johnson did contribute to some of the lyrics, if not all of them. He's always mentioned in the song credits. But just a few other points about the sort of look of these guys. Cliff Williams, the bassist, he's been long standing at this point, and I think he carries on for quite a few number of years. But I've realised watching this video, because of his hair, which is always the same in every video and every photo shoot, I've no idea what his face looks like. That's a hell of a fringe. It covers the majority of his face. And Brian Johnson's got a bit of a Fred West look about him at this stage of his life, hasn't he? Do you not think with the cap and the curly hair and the sideburns? Yeah. But as you said, it's classic AC/DC, it's a staple of their sort of material. And yeah, I agree with what you say about it being very accessible sort of rock. That, I mean, I'm staggered about the sales. I had no idea this was one of the in the top 10 of albums of all time. That's an incredible achievement.
Okay, for me, a couple of bits just through these sort of sections is it's only on this time of listening through it is when you're coming out from the second chorus into the solo. Dynamically, again, they do something very clever here. So the chords that they're playing under the first part of the solo is the chorus, but they don't play it the same way as they played at the chorus. And all they're doing is they're just doing a stab. So you've got Malcolm and Cliff on bass, and they're going boom, 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 boom. They're literally just doing single notes, and while the drums and the solo, and then it goes a boom, 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 and then it kicks in, and it's really clever dynamics about thinking about how a song, because it would have been so easy for them to just come in and play the chords of the chorus and just thump down on it following the drum pattern, and it would have sounded fine. It would have sounded fine, but what they've done there is they've realized they can use exactly the same thing, but just by chopping it down, making it nice and tight, leaving that space, you add this layer, so when the second part of the solo comes in, it lifts the whole thing up. Just again, people don't give the credit to AC/DC that they should around originality of songwriting, because they've been around for so long, but they did so much. And do you know what, when you mentioned about, like we were saying about the vocal style, as soon as it kicked in on the second verse, I was like, it's a bit more Mick Jagger, actually, a little bit in there. There's a bit of swagger Jagger going on there. Let's run it to the end then. Okay, there we go, AC/DC and You Shook Me All Night Long. We've pretty much covered all our main topics. I don't know if there was anything extra you picked in there. I'll quickly run around, but for me, the only thing I want to find out is I need to understand Malcolm Young's guitar there. I don't know if you guys picked it up, but basically he's got a toggle switch at the bottom. He's got 4 switches up there. He's got volume and control knobs. He's playing an AC/DC. What the fuck does he need all those switches and knobs for? What are they all on there? I'm gonna have to look up that guitar because can't be a standardized guitar. That's got to be some. Maybe he's got all his effects built in, so he doesn't have to go to because he plays at the back quite a lot. And I wonder if he's got like a custom-made built-in like delay or something he needs for certain songs, so he can just kind of go, do you know what? When I don't need, I can just switch it off for that song. I don't have to worry about someone backstage because you got to remember they may not have had radio controlled pedal boards at backstage behind all the amps or anything like that when it was back in those days, because they were still, if you look at a lot of the stuff when we covered AC/DC's Sin City, I think we did, and they were playing on the stage and they had just cables everywhere, so they weren't using RF sort of stuff. But quick round if there's anything to add, Andy.
Yeah, I like the camera shots when Angus was doing his solos, what do you call the camera on the crane or the boom sort of. That was for 1980. I thought that was quite a sort of elaborate shot because it was moving in all sorts of directions. But what it did capture, probably unfortunately for the producer of the video and the band, was either a cameraman or a photographer right at the front of the stage.
At the front film.
Yeah, but yes, I think I agree with you, Dave. They've kind of made the most of their day in this venue, concert hall, whatever it may be, and sort of try and get as much in as they can. But it's it does the job, doesn't it? It's sort of, it's a promo video for this single, the lead single, the first time the world has seen Brian Johnson, and it's more than adequate for what they need for this. And it's obviously stood the test of time because we're watching it in 2025. And
Kirk, any final thoughts on it?
I'll just fire a question back to you, Dave. So in the UK, grade 8 is the highest, isn't it, for a musician when you're studying on your instrument? As a band of a whole, where would you put this on grade 1 to 8? If you were to test a band and say...
Hey, you said grade 8 and then you switched it to 1 to 8. What the...
No, I said 8, you prick.
Oh, 8. Obviously, 8. So 8 is the highest, is it?
Yeah.
It depends what you're marking it against. Technical ability, musicianship, songwriting.
I'd say it's a grade 4, probably because of that solo. I mean, the drums, just a 2-beat drum pattern, isn't it? Good songwriting, though, isn't it?
Songwriting's much higher, technical ability much lower. It's a difficult thing what you're measuring.
I think songwriting's the key with this band, isn't it? They know what they're doing, and that's not something that probably should be measured like, oh, this is a great...
AC/DC is basically just good old-fashioned bar rock.
Yeah.
But they got to play in arenas and stadiums. But they're still bar rock. It doesn't change the fact that it is bar rock. But the fact is you could play AC/DC tracks and people that are not into rock and not into metal will still sing those along.
Yeah, they're a rock and roll band that have...
When you see people like Celine Dion doing air guitar and singing this song as well at one of the award ceremonies, it's crossed over to outside of the rock and the metal genres. So, and not many people can get away with that. So, there we go. AC/DC and You Shoot Me All Night Long. If you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.